Now, you say I use physical education. Yes, even if I use tumbling, and if I use handstands, and if I use a flip, I don't use them to make acrobats of them. I use them where I can to achieve self-esteem, self-satisfaction, a controlled existence. You can't make a flip if you are not controlled, otherwise you break your neck. And I feel we find movement and joy in movement, even if it is not called dance. Joy in movement, movement. And I'm sorry when I hear that they demand that you almost have a shrink and that you talk to them about psychiatry and no, I mean, I'm old-fashioned. I thought we started as dance therapists.
So your vision for the future then would include everybody going back to their roots in dance and continuing to take classes and continuing to use the movement.
When I meet now, for instance, I meet Marcella, you know, and I mean, I would occasionally, old faithful ones, I always stress, do you dance? And even if it's only folk dancing, but dance. Don't give up dancing. Because if we become psychiatrists and psychologists and shrinks, instead of lying on the couch, you lie on the floor.
Keep dancing is your message.
That's my message,
That's your
definitely.
Message. I was going to ask you, what would you say to aspiring dance therapists entering the field, but I think you've just answered that question, which is that they should just keep on dancing. Now, I know you kept on dancing till just a few years ago.
Yeah.
I know you retired probably only four or five years ago.
Well, I completely retired was 91. There I went up to the precious director of that school, which was Life Skills. And I worked there 12 years. And that was a school only for retarded. But there were so many degrees of retardation. I mean, I had boys, men, young men, physically, honey, they could do anything. But when I would ask him, at the Special Olympics, you got 2 medals. What did you do? He looked at me. I got medals. He didn't know why he got medals and what he had done. He ran, of course, he always ran. So you see, and you had a boy that also, beautiful young man. And the teacher said, I get crazy. He still doesn't know 2 and 2 is 4.
And your response to that would be what?
But they were wonderful. They were wonderful. So he will live without 2 and 2 is 4.
So in 1991, you went to the principal of the school and you told
They
him
said,
that you were ready
honey,
to retire.
I have news for you, Bob. So he said, what are the news? So I said, I quit. I had a cold, I had felt miserable physically, and he loved me, and he was very decent. He had taken over a school from Brooklyn that had closed with the heaviest cases of retardation, and we never had before. You know, men running around naked and things like this. And he felt I shouldn't work with them, and I wouldn't have worked with them. So he sent me down to the floor where they had infants. And the oldest group was 4 years old. And one class where the children were chained to chairs, you know. And I felt so out of place there. I felt so unhappy there that I felt I steal money with an infant, even if that infant was 3 years old, but the infant was blind, was deaf, and was an infant. What do I have to do there? I mean, I really felt I stole money. And I had no satisfaction and no joy and nothing. So when it hit me that day, I had this cold, I didn't feel good, and then I shall go down and I said, no, they don't need me anymore, and obviously they don't have other kids for me, because this upper classes I wouldn't have taken. And I'm really old enough to quit. And so I said, Bob, you are a faithful Jew. And he said, yes. Tell me, do you know about your patriarchs were 70 old? He said, yes. Well, I said, I am 70, and I think I should quit.
And that was the last?
My last encounter. They were lovely. They invited me to the Christmas party, and I got that little golden chain and flowers. They were lovely.
How would you like the profession to remember you as a therapist?
Well, it's a great honor to be remembered. I mean, it's a tremendous honor.
What would you like us to remember about your work?
About my work?
Yes.
Well, she was funny. She used props.
She.
They will think.
Oh, yes, of course.
Well, they will remember
They'll
me.
remember you by saying she was funny.
Well, she was funny. She used props. And she was really not very educated, like one of my colleagues said, when she applied for the dance therapy to be established in Adelphi. And our dear Feingold said to her, I'm sorry, we don't need anybody, we have Mrs. Polk. And she said, Mrs. Polk, how can you compare her with me? I never reported it to the ethical department, but he told it to me. He told it to me. Well, I said to her, I don't like to compare, we are very happy with Mrs. Polk. That was her last interview. So she got a doctorate, she lectures, but I don't know if she works with children or with grown-ups.
This other woman, yeah.
So how I want to be remembered by certain people like you, Nona, as a good friend who tried.
Well, you have been a mentor for me, you have been a friend for me, and for the profession you have really been a vision. And I thank you with all my heart for agreeing to do this interview and for sharing your life, because it's been a wonderful experience for me. And I know for everyone who sees this film, it's going to be a very meaningful work. Thank you. Just wipe away the tears. What are we going to do now?
I think, well, I've heard so much about this dance. I was hoping you'd, like, perform or something. Actually,
Can you get Alyssa?
yes, I can get Alyssa. Hi, Alyssa.
No.
Yes,
But it's-
Alyssa,
We
absolutely.
actually got Alyssa once or twice.
Yes, I interfered.
Now he's taking us.
Now I get to kiss you.
You have her, but do you need somebody else? No, you know, we never see each other, but we are on one line.
Absolutely.
Yes. Marty, is it, Elizabeth, no, don't leave.
What?
Elizabeth, don't leave, because he's doing the two of
What
us
do you
now.
need?
Oh, I thought we were already.
We are done, but now he just wanted to get us, just the two of us on video together.
Like this.
Well, I am introducing you to my colleague, my mentor, and a friend, Elizabeth Polk. I am Nana Koch. I am the coordinator of the dance
But you
therapy
said it
program.
already.
No, I haven't said it yet. Now I'm
But you
saying
said it when I started crying.
Oh, yes, I did say that. But now he's getting both of us on tape together.
Both of you.
Now he's doing both
for,
of us.
for another purpose.
For the beginning of the tape.
Oh,
Just for the
I
beginning of the
see.
tape, when
Oh, I
we
see.
put it together.
Oh, I see.
We can shoot out a sequence, so I can take something in the back of the tape.
Oh, I see. Well, you can do what you want. You are an expert.
I have to go teach.
You have a hair right
I
there.
have to go teach.
Can't you stop this business?
You come downstairs and I'll introduce you to
We're going to introduce you to the new class
Yeah,
when we leave here.
good.
Okay?
Elizabeth, can you do me a favor? Could you just restate your name, okay, from the beginning, and just let me know how many years you've been a dance therapist?
State your name.
Yes, I am Elizabeth Polk.
And how many years have you been a dance therapist?
Well, when we started, I think we started in 1963 or something. By 1966, I think we got legally established.
But
And-
how long have you been a dance therapist? How long have you personally been in the profession?
No, I think by that time it became a profession. I was a dance teacher, which they later on told me was dance therapy. But at my time, it was just dancing with deaf children before they found out it was dance therapy.
So that was about 50 years ago, if I'm correct. Or it's been 50 years
Yes.
that you've been in the profession.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a dance teacher goes back longer, you know, because I was a dancer, and at the same time I started teaching to reduce my expenses, and my teachers liked me to teach their classes. You know how it is popular. So I mean, how many years that I can't say.
I heard the whole interview, or most of it, between running out, but I'm kind of curious about one thing. I know in my own teaching, there's, when you have a large class of students, it's easy to make sure that the squeaky wheel kind of gets the grease. Were there any students that you feel you weren't able to get through to, and you weren't
Oh,
able?
definitely. No, I told you I had children who cried. They didn't want to come, and Mama thought it was good for you. And it will be good, you know. Or the worst parents are the one, I always wanted to be a dancer.
Right.
You know, and then I said, so why don't you? And then, well, you know, this and that. No, if you wanted to dance, dance. It's never too late. But if she doesn't want to dance, don't make her dance. She will do something else.
Again, I have to tell you,